We got some more negative news about Xbox. It was just all over the place. Actually, Monster Hunter was originally released on the... That's right. It originally was a PlayStation 2 game. You right. Now PlayStation niggas, they forgot their roots. They don't even buy Monster Hunter because it's not cool. It's for nerds, apparently. What do I think of the Yakuza series? I think it's lit. The only Yakuza game I've ever played is the Yakuza Pirate game, and I liked it, so it's cool. I did see Shia's on the cover. We could talk about that in a minute. Arcane Studios founder brands Game Pass unsustainable and damaging. Oh my lord. For people who don't play games, Arcane Studios is the studio behind the shit with Corvo. I can never remember. What's the shit called? My brain is always frozen when it. And what's crazy is I love the fucking game. My brain always is but they also made the vampire game. That shit was ass. Dishonored. They're the studio behind Dishonored, and they just dropped that shitty vampire game. Although that was Microsoft's fault. But yeah, they're mainly known for Dishonored. Let's see. So enter Raphael, blah, 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 the founder of Arcane Studios and creative director of the most studios games, such as Dishonored and Prey. He doesn't like the Game Pass, and he's not alone. In a post on social media, the head of Arcane suddenly asked why nobody's talking about the elephant in the room, presumably in the wake of recent Microsoft layoffs that heavily impacted Xbox and many associated studios. The elephant in this case is Game Pass, and when someone asked him for his perspective, he said, I think Game Pass is an unsustainable model that has been increasingly damaging the industry for a decade, subsidized by Microsoft's infinite money, but at some point, reality has to hit. I don't think Game Pass can coexist with other models. They'll either kill everyone else or give up. An hour later, his analytical perspective was joined by Michael Dowse, Larian Studios publishing director. These are the people behind Baldur's Gate 3. What happens when all the money runs out is the most vocal concern in my network and one of the main economic reasons people I know haven't shifted to its business model. The infinite money thing never made any sense. So what he's saying is Game Pass is cool now because Microsoft is profitable. He's talking about the bigger picture long term. What happens if Microsoft is no longer profitable? It's going to roll back the support for the Game Pass, and I think that's what he's worried about. And we now know Microsoft owns Bethesda, and Arcane is under Bethesda, which, by the way, this dude's got some balls for making this statement. Straight up saying, I don't like the fucking Game Pass, and he's owned by Microsoft. They could give him the boot at any time. He's got some balls for saying this shit. So he's talking about the long run. What happens if Microsoft goes on a downturn? And I understand where he's coming. They're cool now, but tomorrow is never promised. I agree with that. So I think what he's looking at is he's saying, I still wish we were independent because when we're independent, we rake in all the profit versus we're just getting paid a paycheck to put our game on the platform, but it's a steady, like certain type of salary, if that makes sense. Game Pass Bishop, this is propaganda. But yeah, Phil Spencer says it's profitable. I don't know. I think for this type of story, only time will tell. He's wrong about Game Pass. He made Redfall. Now he doing Uber delivery. Yo, chill. Yo, chill. I don't know. I think only time will tell with this story. He could be lying. Like Ethos said, this could be propaganda or it could be the truth. I understand where he's coming from. He left in 2017. Oh, so he's not even with the company anymore. That's fucking funny. He said, this is propaganda. The pair touched on cannibalization of sales, which is one of the core concerns of Game Pass. If a developer or publisher launches a game exclusively on Game Pass, nobody technically pays for their game except for Microsoft paying to get it in the catalog, a licensing fee. Dowse admitted that it's a good thing for de-risking projects for smaller teams, but the buck stops there. Yeah, so if you're a bigger known studio like Arcane or Bethesda, you want to rake in the big bucks. You don't need to be subsidized. That's what he's arguing. Sounds like he's kind of salty about being acquired. The Pope told me so. He did then point out that Sony's lifecycle management way of working is much more profitable. I think also another issue with being owned by Microsoft is if the games that they put out on the Game Pass are not generating more subscribers, what's stopping Microsoft from shutting off Bethesda tomorrow? I think that's the main concern too. The title should say former. Yeah, it should say former. That's a little disingenuous. Okay. It's hard to tell. I'm not going to make any predictions on this. It's as long as Xbox continues to put out good product, people are going to support the Game Pass. But the thing is, like, I'd imagine it's so expensive to maintain the Game Pass. It means every year they need to have bangers. If they kind of put themselves in quicksand and they got to keep moving. And one thing about running is eventually your feet do get tired. So I'm curious to see how long it takes before their feet get tired. And then when their feet do get tired, what do? There's no way for me to predict what's going to happen other than we got to give it some time to see how this one plays out. What I will say though is this is an interesting perspective. At bare minimum, what I do know is at this point in time in 2025, Xbox niggas are supporting Game Pass. PC niggas are supporting Game Pass, meaning they are supporting their platforms. You know who's not buying games? PlayStation niggas. We know you niggas is frauds. You saw the data. You saw the data. 10%. Only 10% of y'all are buying Capcom games. Y'all don't buy no fucking games. Shut the fuck up. What up, HPC? Ben frauds. Game Pass might be getting killed by first-party development costs, it's suggested. So I think this was this is to respond to what old boy was saying. Do you think if PlayStation had a Game Pass, they would buy more games? They do have their own version of Game Pass. It just sucks. It's that PlayStation Plus premium thing. When you buy the second or the third tier, the higher tier ones, you get free games every month. They do have their own version of Game Pass. It's just not good. Yeah, the shit is trash because they'll give you like year-old games and stuff like that. Which, by the way, you would never got that if it wasn't for actual Game Pass. After the layoffs that happened, article came out saying they made cuts due to Microsoft buying into AI, which is dumb. That's going to affect a lot of industries. I've been said that one of the biggest things we're going to see in the United States. So like for those unaware, one of the biggest employers of Americans is trucking companies or just trucks. You know, people who buy the big freights or drive the big freights, you know, deliver to Walmart, Target, big box stores and stuff like that. Right now, tech companies are developing AI for self-driving trucks. I just watched a video last night about a company that's rolling out their self-driving trucks as of tomorrow in Texas. They're testing very local markets and they plan to expand in like the next 2 years. You remember I told you this, if they find a way to make that efficient, if these tests pass and they scale it, oh boy, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Not to scare anybody who they got this what is it, CDL or whatever it's called that allows you to be a truck driver. But if you can buy a truck that drives all day without a human, why would you hire a human? Because they're only allowed to drive like I think like 8 hours a day or something like that. It's gonna fuck up America. That's gonna be bad. That's gonna be bad. Look into it. I think the company starts with an A. I know Tesla's working on self-driving trucks as well. 11 hours. 11 hours is all humans are allowed to work. Versus an AI truck can drive through the night. So it's getting scary out here. It's not gonna affect gaming. We've seen it's affecting Hollywood. It's affecting gaming. It's gonna affect trucks too. And it sucks too. It sucks too because the people that mainly voted for that orange Cheeto are gonna get affected most because truck driving is really a blue collar job. And it's the blue collar people that think, I'm not gonna say all, but the blue collar people who mostly think that this nigga is for them, they're gonna get ravaged, unfortunately, because they're pushing for a lot of deregulation inside of AI, crypto, stuff like that. Is it Aurora? Is that the name of it? Let me see. Let me Google that. Aurora, self-driving trucks. I think this was the company. Aurora's innovation in self-driving technology includes autonomous trucks. They launched a commercial. Yeah, this is the one. This is what I'm talking about. They launched a commercial self-driving truck service in Texas, initially between Dallas and Houston. So they're starting small, just delivering between Dallas and Houston. And if these tests go good, in the next 5 years, it's gonna get bad. You remember, TBA, stop talking about this shit. No. It's gonna affect your family. You should be aware of it. I'm not gonna sit here and talk every little thing about it, but at least I like to put people on aware, and it's gonna affect gaming. This is bad, bro. The trekking company industry has had this storm coming for a while. Yep. I love how your gamer subs code still works. That's fucking funny. What's this? AI might already be shrinking entry-level jobs in tech. Yeah, because like you can just use the AI for coding and stuff. Remember, T-Bait is not that deep. 5 to 10 years down the road, we might be seeing changes. Did I miss the vacation T? Nah, you good. I don't know what you're talking about. It's funny too, because they're coming out with like slurs for robots now. I seen on TikTok, they're calling them clankers. We have them in my neighborhood. I don't know if y'all seen them. I don't know if anybody lives in a major city, but like, I see them all the time in my neighborhood. I posted one on IG. These little robots with 4 wheels. They're delivering food and you see them just crossing the street, going up and down. They call them clankers. I'm not gonna lie, that should be pissing me off too, bro. Fucking clankers. It's coming, man. It's coming. Stay awake, guys. That scene from IH and White Castle is real with the bot chef is real. Here we go, calling them Clankers is the start of Skynet. Oh shit, I didn't know you were a voice actor, bro. It's something I just started. You got a game for me? You got a job for me? It's something I just started, and I'm trying to get better at it. Goddamn Clankers. I think that's something we all. I ain't gonna lie, I'm robophobic. They got a term for that shit, boy. Fox News is calling Superman woke. I saw that. They don't read books, bruh. Superman is the original immigrant. Like, what do we fucking talk? Well, not the original, but he's the OG immigrant. Like, they literally say that in the comic books. I've seen that report. Fox News can shut the fuck up. At least you wouldn't have to worry about AI eating or spitting your food. Yeah, but you might get like metal bits in that bitch or some shit like that. Robots getting slurs now? Absolutely. Hashtag robophobia. And other, that's my AI update, random. In other news, Helldivers 2 dev says they have no plans of putting it on the Game Pass. For those wondering, just yesterday, Arrowhead Game Studios came in with some shocking news confirming Helldivers 2 release date for the Xbox Series. After being exclusive to the PC and PC for over a year, players will finally be able to fight for democracy on Xbox as well. This announcement had many wondering whether the game would be available on Game Pass, and now Arrowhead has revealed that it will not. As soon as the release date for Helldivers 2 on the Xbox was announced, many players began to wonder whether they pre-order the game or wait for the Game Pass version. However, Arrowhead has clarified the situation. Spotted by Video Gamer, Arrowhead's gaming community manager confirmed on the game's official Discord that Helldivers 2 is definitely not coming to Game Pass, and there are currently no plans to do so. So if you're looking forward to this game on Xbox, you're going to have to buy it, which shouldn't be a problem for you guys. Because like we stated earlier, the data suggests Xbox people buy games, Steam people buy games. We know who doesn't buy games. The Sony ponies. Unless it's a fucking Xbox game, then for some reason you guys buy it. Yeah, you got to buy the game, brokies. The good news is the game was only like $30, $40, right? It's not expensive. And I believe it has crossplay. I'm on y'all PlayStation niggas' heads, bro. Does this mean more PlayStation games are coming to Xbox since they're not chasing a Game Pass check? Possibly. I would imagine more PlayStation games could come to Xbox. I mean, more PlayStation games are coming to PC. We already have the numbers that suggest that PlayStation niggas don't buy games outside of Madden and 2K. And these companies that are creating unique, fun exclusives for people who are open-minded, they need to make their money back. So they might have to come to PC. They might have to come to Xbox. Because right now, shit, they might have to come to Nintendo. Because of the big four, those are the only three that are actually generating sales. PlayStation niggas spend more time shifting through the UI looking for free-to-play games, looking for an update on their Netflix. And oh, Hulu just got an update, bro. They just added 4K with ads. This is going to be sweet. So that's your update for Helldivers 2 for those interested. Yo, shout out to JJ Adventure with the sub. Appreciate it. I buy games. I just don't finish them all the time. You're supporting the industry at least. Speaking of fucking yourself over, Splitgate 2 has lost over 80% of its Steam players less than a month after launch. I'm not going to read this article because the headline tells us everything we need to know. Shout out to Jiggle Them Balls with the gifted subs. This one pains me to say because I actually like the game. It's a good game. I played it on stream multiple times. But guys, there is a lesson here. For those who are not following, during the Summer Games Fest a few weeks ago, on the day Splitgate 2 released, the CEO of the studio behind this game got on stage and wore a Make America Great Again parody hat. And because it wasn't zoomed in, people assumed he was a Trumper. And because of that, the internet was like, fuck you, we're not playing this game. Now his hat, when you zoomed in, it said make FPS great again. But it was I think it pissed people off because they didn't want to even, it's not, to them, it's not even funny because of the things that are going on in this country. It's not even funny. We just talked about the AI trucks and how they're deregulating things and they're really pushing, going to put a lot of people out of work. The 10,000 people that got laid off by Xbox because of the AI. A lot of this stuff is not funny to people. It was a rage bait hat, yeah? And you raged people off. I bet it's not funny now. You're right. He was rage baiting, and I bet it's not funny now because ain't nobody playing your game. So there's a lesson to be learned here. And the lesson here is anybody listening in the chat, wherever you are on the political spectrum, if you want to be in business, you want to make sales, focus on the business. Shut the fuck up, okay? If your goal is to make $1, shut the fuck up. At least if you're going to make a statement or a stance, wait till you get to the point where it's hard to beat you. But if you're just starting out, you're a nobody. Nigga, shut the fuck up, bro. And even still, if you big, you could still fail. Look at Papa John's. Papa John's used to be one of the best selling fast food pizza delivery joints. Then it came out, there was the Klan's pie. First of all, I didn't like Papa John's. It was easy to boycott them. They pizza nasty. I don't care what nobody say. Then it came out, it was official supporter of the Ku Klux Klan, the Klan's pie. We don't eat the Klan's pie, nigga. The fuck that damn place, bro. It's not hard. It's not hard. So I don't feel, even though I like the game, I'm not gonna backtrack on that. I thought the game was good and it deserved the chance. It was free to play with crossplay. You made your own bed, lay in it. See you later, fuck nigga. We gotta. You never too big to fail. Just like they tell LeBron and watch his face taking a knee and speaking that shit. Something like that. It was a well-deserved L. The vid where he was playing the dev for Microsoft transactions, they tried to get Shaq to save it. Like, nah, we don't care. The mobile version of Destiny got a release date for August 28th, as well as a new trailer. This quote was interesting. It said, "Mobile Destiny 2 with gacha game elements is the most evil video game concept I've ever heard of." I got some details on it too. The launch date was announced by Chinese development partner NetEase Games, the company behind Marvel Rivals and Diablo Immortal. So you know that bitch gonna have hella microtransactions. Along with the game's first trailer featuring new gameplay, we can catch a glimpse of missions, strikes, PvP battles, and PvP features that players can expect. Destiny Rising will be set in an alternate timeline, Earth 2 type shit, before the events of the original game, meaning players who aren't familiar with the massive lore can jump in without needing experience with the previous Destiny titles. Excuse me. Players can choose to take on the role of a fully customizable light bearer named Wolf, but they can also select to play as a legendary Destiny character like, I don't know how to pronounce that nerd shit, Ikora Ray and Iron Lord Jorder. The game features include single player, co-op, and competitive multiplayer game modes, primary and power weapons, and the ability to share your loadout across different character arsenals. NetEase is also adding a new mythic tier rarity for the gear, so there's even more rare gear in the game, as well as a whole new weapon type. The developer is promising tons of exciting loot to gather for your characters. To get players excited and ready for the game's release, NetEase is holding a pre-registration event where people can unlock special bonuses when the game launches. This event unlocks more rewards with each player's milestone, which is currently sitting at 5 million, with the incentive being at 10 million. So at 10 million, they'll get even more rewards. Here's the trailer. I ain't playing this shit, but you know, somebody is. Let's see. Let's see what it's hitting for. Let's see, 1080p, boom. Look at Naughty Dog just announced. Is this the chronological shit? Yeah, I already covered that.
Expensive it is.
Hold up. Okay. Oh wait, wrong one. Boom, boom, boom. They saying this better than Destiny 2? Yeah, we'll see. You can grind on the go. You could do another job while you on the job. Looter shooter, baby. I saw that video. I'm gonna talk about it in a second. It looks like Destiny. I'm not even gonna hate on this. This doesn't look bad. This looks like Destiny for your phone. This shows you how far mobile games have come. I think the biggest issue, what's going to make or break this game is, because we just talked about, there's going to be a bunch of new stuff in it, is the business model. If the business model is not bad, this will have a healthy community. I'm not going to hate on this. This looks decent. For people who are fans of Destiny, if you get the backbone or you use the Xbox controller and hook it up to your phone, I could see somebody who works a security job or like a desk job where they have free time. I can see them grinding this. Destiny Rising, ladies and gentlemen. Is it too late to get into Destiny? I mean, it said in the article, this is a good jumping on point because it's altered the timeline if you want to try this one. What y'all want to hear? I got a prediction for y'all. So this game does look good, but it looks good for a mobile game. It's clearly the Destiny 2 engine downscaled to... Oh, fucking shit. My headset was trapped in my damn chair. All right, so here's my prediction. It looks like the Destiny 2 engine just got downscaled for mobile phones, but it looks pretty good, right? My prediction is long term, not short term. Short term, it's gonna have its moment, right? But long term, if this game is not a success, because this is just a downscaled version of Destiny 2, I predict if it's not a financial success, what they're gonna do to try to salvage the game, they're gonna port it to the PS4. And guess what? PS4 niggas is gonna say we got one. And I say you niggas don't deserve nothing. But I would not be shocked if they try to downscale it even more, import it to the we getting Destiny 3, we getting Destiny 3. No, you're not. No, you're not, nigga. You eat that shit up, rest the fuck up. Other mobile news, there was a mobile Resident Evil game. Resident Evil fans have a lot to be excited for with Resident Evil Survival Unit, a new mobile strategy game announced by Aniplex during Anime Expo 2025. The game is being co-developed by Joy City Corporations. Resident Evil Survival Unit is going to be released globally on mobile platforms, iOS and Android, on July 10th, so 2 days from now. Is there a new trailer for this shit? Is there a trailer for this? So let's Google. We got Destiny 3, bro. Strategy game. I don't know about that, man. Let's go on YouTube. Let's copy Resident Evil mobile game. Oh, here we go. Shout out to MJ Cray with the sub. Appreciate it.
Everyone, this is Shinji Hashimoto from Aniplex. As some of you may
Why wouldn't they port it to the PS5? Because we have enough data to suggest PS5 niggas won't buy nothing, so they'll probably put it on the PS4 because they're thirsty.
Already know, in the spring of 2022, I moved on from Square Enix and embarked on a new journey with the Sony Music Entertainment Japan Group. One of the projects I've been working hard to bring to life is finally ready to be revealed. And I'd like to take this opportunity to share the news. Thanks to the collaboration with Capcom, we are excited to announce Resident Evil Survival Unit, a new strategy game for mobile users.
Show the gameplay.
Globally popular Resident Evil series. This title of
boo, there's no gameplay.
Event.
Oh, my fault, chat. I ain't know. I thought it ain't no fucking gameplay. We don't care. Somebody said it's like XCOM. Where you get that from? Is there info? I need to stop announcing games with no fucking gameplay, bro. It's a gaming event. Like nobody want to look at you. Fuck, bro. Other news: ChuckECheese launches a new arcade aimed at adults. ChuckECheese is launching a new arcade concept for adults called Chuck's Arcade, described by the company as a modern-day love letter to the games and people that built the brand. The adult-focused arcades feature a blend of retro and modern titles ranging from Donkey Kong and Mortal Kombat to Halo and Connect 4 Hoops. Like the original family-friendly locations, each Chuck's Arcade is presided over by one of the brand's animatronic characters, including ChuckECheese and other members of Munch's Make-Believe Band. Niggas a Munch? Thought I was feeling you. Chuck's Arcade also includes prizes geared towards adults and other offers merchandise designed to tap into nostalgia. Said the CEO, the concept is a natural evolution for the company following a recent $350 million remodel of its existing 500 locations that saw them remove the animatronics from the store. So it sounds to me like they're trying to compete with Dave & Buster's, because that's literally Dave & Buster's. I hope it's cheaper and they got good games. Which, fun fact, this past weekend I went to Dave & Buster's. I played which, by the way, I'm not mad at this business move. I actually kind of agree with that. It's a natural evolution. They just gotta find a way to compete with financially with Dave & Buster's and have better games, and they could get adults in there. It could work. I went to Dave & Buster's this past weekend. I played the Luigi's Mansion game. I didn't know that was a thing. A Luigi's Mansion arcade game. It was pretty fun. Y'all got to get food in here too. Adults don't want to. I mean, some of you niggas don't got no taste buds because y'all block babies. But people who have taste, we don't want to eat that ChuckECheese pizza. Okay, we don't eat that cafeteria pizza. But for block babies, that might be enough. Maybe you guys could even do like a $5 a month unlimited pizza for you block babies. I don't know, but So where is Chuck's Arcade located? 10 locations have already opened across the United States, in such as St. Petersburg, Florida, Tulsa, Oklahoma, El Paso, and St. Louis. So pretty much small markets. They're testing stuff out before they whip it out to the big markets. Each site is uniquely decorated with original artwork highlighting the franchise's history. Some of the arcades offer food and drinks, with the Kansas City location featuring a pizzeria that also serves beer and wine, according to the company's spokesperson. They need to bring the prices down, make it reasonable is all I ask. Yeah, because like this past weekend is the first time I went to Dave & Buster's in a while, and it was fun. So like, I can see this working. I will say where I think they could struggle. First, you got to get the business model right. You got to make the prices comparable to Dave & Buster's, maybe cheaper. But I think where they're going to struggle maybe is the advertising. Like, how do you, because the average adult is stupid nowadays. How do you convince them that Chuck's Arcade is different from ChuckECheese? Because I could see the average American saying, "Oh, Chuck's Arcade, they must be rebranding from ChuckECheese." They don't. The average person, unless they really spend some money on advertising, might not understand it's a separate spin-off entity designed for adults, like date night and shit like that. That's where I can see them struggling. And I would say if I could consult them, focus on really the messaging, what makes Chuck's Arcade different from not only ChuckECheese but Dave & Buster's. Adult arcade, what games they got? Yeah, and like the games really gonna matter. What games y'all got up in that bit? Like I said, that I played the Mario Kart arcade game. That was pretty fun too. I said, damn, I need to get that in the house one day, bro. That was pretty fun. But the Luigi Mansion shit was pretty cool. At Dave & Buster's, they got to drop a commercial to explain. Yep, and they got to run that bitch for a year straight. I looked in the arcade located in Tulsa, and it just looks like any other arcade. So the prices need to be good then. So yeah, that's an option for those that are in those areas, and they're going to be rolling it out to different areas. And then last but not least, CaptainSlander for this batch of articles. Shout out to Frank B. Gaining. He sent this to me and he wanted my take on this. He said, "I would like to hear your thoughts on this as somebody who is an actual professional content creator with the ability to articulate." Emphasis on the word articulate. So in this thing, he quote tweeted, he said, "Snowcone talks about how expensive it is being a content creator. $10,000 Twitch paycheck, $5,000 in travel, $2,000 rent." Let's see what she got to say. I didn't watch the clip. I just saved it. I was like, whatever, bro.
Y'all know how expensive it is to keep up with content creation? You could get a 10K check from Twitch. What the fuck is a 10K check when you gotta spend 5K on trips just to travel?
Saying what the fuck is a 10K check when people are struggling is incredibly tone deaf.
$500 on setup shit. Fucking $2,000 on your rent. Fucking $200 on Wi-Fi, $200 on IRL toolkit. You gotta pay the clippers, pay a YouTube editor. Chat, I don't think y'all realizing I be going into negative doing this shit, okay? Y'all know how.
Classic keeping up with the Joneses shit. Next. Yeah, Cammy's right. That's my take on it. No shade to her. She just don't know how to manage her money. And maybe it's because she's young. I'd never heard of this chick before the Streamer University. She was one of the people that was on Streamer University. But $10,000 is a lot of money. Yeah, $120,000 a year. That's a lot of money. So this has nothing to do with content creation. I'm going to give you guys a business 101 lesson. This is just about managing your money. If you can't afford it 2 or 3 times, you can't afford it. It's really that simple. What happened with her is she went to Streamer University. From what I understand, she was a small content creator before, and she blew up thanks to Streamer University. And I think she got a little bit ahead of herself. Started traveling everywhere to events, spending all this money on rent and editors and all this other stuff. And she increased her overhead. So when it comes to business, and this has nothing to do with content creation, if you just want to own a business, period, when it comes to scaling, unless you have proper investors, which this woman doesn't, I'm talking about seed investors. You reached out to X, Y, and Z, and they said, we're going to invest $5-10 million in your company. Unless you have seed money, you should always scale at a slow pace and make sure that you can afford whatever it is that you're trying to do. What happened here is like what Cammy said, keeping up with the Joneses, which is an old black people term for it's in reference to a television show, trying to keep up with everybody else. She was a part of Streamer University. She was around a bunch of popular content creators. She saw how Kai was moving, how Agent was moving, how DDG was moving, and she felt she needed to do X, Y, and Z to grow her numbers. So she scaled far too quickly before her income matched what she needed. So my counter to her argument is, you're saying, what the fuck is a $10,000 check when you need $5,000 in travel and $500 for this and $1,000 for that? Who the fuck told you need to spend $5,000 in travel? I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I ain't never spent $5,000 in travel in any year. First of all, when you lit, people will pay for your travel for like events. So what are we talking about? You chose to spend $5,000 a month on traveling because you felt like you needed to do X, Y, and Z to fit in with those kids, and you scaled before you were ready. So to this person, I would say, this is no shade. I'm giving real grown folks advice. Cut back on your overhead. Your overhead is way too high. You don't need to go to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 events a year. Go to 1. And then when your money starts, when that 10 turns to 12, when that 12 turns to 15, because to be honest, that's not guaranteed. I think that's where a lot of people fuck up in business. You fail to realize not everything is $1 million idea. And the sooner you realize that, the quicker you will have a more comfortable life. Some people will just have a small mom and pop's business, whether it's a comic book store or a restaurant. Most restaurants are not profitable. You got to pay for rent. You got to pay your employees. You got to pay food. You got to pay electricity. You got to pay water. And then you got to hope you generate sales to pay all that. And after all that, that's your profit. So the profit margins are very thin. But I'm gonna be honest, this woman right here, I never heard of her before Streamer University, and somehow she's spending more money than me a month. It sounds like to me like you don't know how to spend your money. So dial it back. You got a little bit ahead of yourself. You're not as big as you think you are. I understand it's exciting because you got your moment, but take your time with it. One of my favorite books, I don't care how corny it is, and this is where I'm gonna wrap it up. One of my favorite books is Tortoise and the Hare. I feel like a lot of y'all need to read that. It's a simple children's story with a great lesson in it. Slow and steady wins the race. So that's my take on it. And this has nothing to do with content creation. This is just some general advice for anybody. Learn to budget. That's how you do. Me personally, I don't feel the need to hang out or with any of these people, so I don't spend my money. Like, you don't need change. You don't need to buy flights all the fucking time. She moving faster than her pockets is moving. Ding, 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 ding. This is definitely a first world problem. But yeah, to hop on stream and say $10,000 a month is not a lot of money is incredibly tone deaf to a bunch of people who are struggling. Usually your parents teach you this. Don't worry, I got you. I'll teach you. Agent should have covered this in the pocket watching class. Yeah, she should have been in the agent class, right? Nothing about that streamer stuff interested me. Didn't watch a second. No, the funny thing is, like, I took a unplanned last minute trip this last weekend, and I still didn't spend $5,000. So I don't know how the fuck you spending $5,000 a month on trap. Like, where are you going, bro? Sounds like to me you booking first class flights everywhere too. That's another thing. You ain't got first class money. You need to sit your ass in economy. What else I got for you? Mafia. Let's look at some Mafia gameplay. Also, to be fair too, where we're gonna wrap that one up is also all that stuff is tax write-off. If it's going towards your business, what you crying about? It's a tax write-off. You'll be all right when tax season come around. I went out the country and never spent that much. Nigga, if you spend $5K going anywhere, where you went? Where'd you go to Moon? Where'd you fucking go to Moon? What are you